All right. So for beginners, I'll start with explaining what we did with separation. So from 2V to um, 2PCH, we went on and select all, and from there we selected here, boom, boom, and made sure we selected all this section right here, and then we went on and separated all these tracks right here, all these tracks from the rest of them down the line because we want to work on this right here, which is from bar 13 to bar 19, averaging up to 16 bars pretty much. All right, now after separating this selection, we went on to working on quantization for these tracks. But before that, let me explain why. All right. So we have these yellow tracks, which are electronic drums, and then we have these blue tracks, which acoustic drums. They had a live drummer come in and play after the math when they had other drums set, like the electronic drums, and these right here are the machine drums. After they had these, they recorded the live drummer last, and so now they want to go ahead and make it tighter. So in order to do so, quantization. Um, so working on quantization, boom, we go here. Let me take this off, select all off. All right, we start working on this one. We went on and quantized this. So while quantizing this one right here, we wanted to make sure, well, all of them actually, we want to make sure it was at 16th note and with a 39% swing to it. This is how we know that the quantization went through and it was complete. Um, and like I said, it's just to make it tighter, make it nicer, and then sound smooth, prevent the phasing issue and stuff like that. You don't want it phasing each other out or sounding weak or lower. You know what I mean? So you have to quantize and stuff like that, get them on point. Um, let's see. I don't want to talk about the waveforms. Let's see. All right, moving on. I think you say I have to do that one. Moving on. I quantize this one as well. As you can see, the little signal right here. Same thing. 16th note, 39% swing. Went down to this one, which was a little bit different. So you hit the quantization, and then after that quantization, it's going to extend it a little bit. So with that extension, which will bring this right here, maybe a little bit over that 4 bars, you want to make sure you go ahead and tighten this up by snapping it to the nearest bar. Um, you want to make sure you make it tighter because if it extends a little too far, that loop is going to be a little bit off. And so to prevent that from happening and it being on point with the rest of the instruments, instead of something sounding off in the mix, you know what I mean? You want to go ahead and snap that to the nearest bar, which is the 4th bar. With that said, after you snap it to 4 bars evenly, you can go ahead and duplicate it. I went on and duplicated this one using Command D, duplicate them, boom, boom. Went down. Next one right here is the reverb, the drum reverb. We had to make sure we did this. Had to make sure that we quantize this one so that it does not phase out the drum that it was a reverb to pretty much because if it phases if it plays off, it will phase it to where it'd be weaker for sure, sound lower or whatever the case is, or yeah, mess up the whole mix pretty much by like phasing it out or canceling it out. Moving on, quantize that 16th note. 39% swing. We went down. This right here is the blue. The yellow is the electronic. Like I said, the blue is the live drummer. Live drummer. Getting on to it. So with the live drummer, we had to make sure that because he was a little bit behind the beat, we had to make sure that we brought him with it, so that it don't sound all crazy. I was gonna use wonkers as a word, but I don't want to use that. I ain't gonna do it. So we had to bring him with the beat and stuff like that. He was a little bit behind the beat, of course, and stuff like that. So you had to put him in the right position, pretty much, because he came and played after, like was said. The way we did that, to make him flow with the beat, we used a beat detector. With that, it helped us to separate and nudge it. It did it for us, right? Instead of tap to transient or whatever the case is, right? And so we needed to conform him to everything else, all the other drums. Like I said, he was recorded last. We need to conform him to the other drums that was playing. With that said, the next step was to go to the event list, of course, and go to beat detector, the clip separation. And with that clip separation, it was to get the triggers in order to place him where he needed to go and stuff like that, which was all these lines right here. And we had to make it to where it made sure to hit every beat, on every beat and stuff like that, in order to make sure it's effective. Let's see. Moving from there. So it won't phase out, like I said. So it won't phase anything out, because it'll kill the beat, make it weaker, or it'll cancel itself out, or having those phase issues, pretty much. Now moving on to this one right here. This is snaps right here. We had some people in the background because it was a group getting together and snapping, stuff like that. So with that said, we wanted to make sure we chose a clean section, chose a clean section right here. And after choosing that, boom, turned around, quantized it. After quantizing it, had to shorten it a little bit because it did extend, like said, up above. And after making sure that it met the next bar, the 2 bars, we went on. Let's see, the 2 bars. We went on to duplicate it. Command D, duplicated that on. Did the same exact thing at the bottom, and you can tell that it was quantized by the sign at the right top, right there. And with that said, like I said, to create a loop that was properly, we had to do that in order to do so. Make sure the bar was even, because if it extend over, it's going to be off. It's going to have that little gap where it's like an emptiness, or that space to where now it's going to be playing catch up, pretty much, almost. Moving on to the next one. Let's see. We quantize this one to every 16th note, along with a 39% swing to it. That's what we did that one. This one, we did the same exact thing. But selecting this portion, because it's split, selecting this portion, or it's 2 clips, at least 2 tracks. Selecting this portion to this portion, clips, not tracks, correction. Selecting both of these, we then went to quantize it to every 16 note with a 39% swing. And then so selecting both of these with shift, click, making sure both of these have the same thing happening to it at the same time, so that it's dress right dress. Same thing. Like, we don't have to worry about doing it separately. It's convenient to do them all together. Same thing at the bottom. Same exact thing. Even though this is muted and this one is not, still want to make sure we do whatever we do to this one, to whatever we do to this one as well, just in case we decide to use that, right? It might be muted now, but maybe you want to make a portion in there bigger, or you want to bring it in there somehow, or some reason, your arrangement, you want to change it up a little bit or something. But that's the reason why, even if it's muted, you want to go ahead and do the same one, right? And as you can see up here, top right corner, it is quantized. And then that is it. Thank you.